All right. Hope everybody's had a good first week of the new year. Sadly, as you can see, I didn't get a lot of the shit done that I really needed to. I was able to organize my car and vacuum. I went a little bit overboard. I also cleaned the car mats. Long story short, ended up being a lot more time consuming than I thought. I won't go into too much detail. I did get some of like the busy work and errands done. I did go to work. Work went mostly fine this week. However, I only got one 5-star review. I was going for two. I had two people tell me that they would leave me 5-star reviews that didn't. There were also a few people that I didn't ask for 5-star reviews. The reason for that is honestly because I did not show up on time for those. I think the inspections went well, but obviously, if you're asking someone for a 5-star review, it can't just be like pretty good. It has to more or less be flawless from the client's perspective. So, I think for next week, I definitely this is one that really I should not have missed. I should not have missed this goal at all. I'm already going to work, and if I'm just not getting the 5-star reviews, that's a pretty serious problem. So this next week, I am going to try to focus on waking up just a little bit earlier, just getting everywhere about 15 minutes early, being very time conscious. So for my later appointments in the day, I'm not making it late there as well because my first appointment is taking too long. So that's the first change that I'm going to make this week to get better results is just to wake up slightly earlier. Because yeah, there's no reason I should have missed this goal. As you can see, even some of the other just kind of like busy work type things, I did not get all of them done. Both of the discipline items I messed up. I did smoke last night. Basically, what had happened, a friend had came over. We ended up going to see some other friends. I ended up smoking. It is what it is. I also stayed up pretty late that night, till like 4 in the morning, obviously way after 11 when I wanted to go to bed. So I'm going to have to change that this week. I'm going to have to be going to bed earlier. I'm going to have to get on top of that. And yeah, it's this is kind of the whole point of doing this series is just for me to have accountability, to keep myself accountable because as y'all can see, I failed miserably to get my goals for this week done. Work was okay. I did get some of the busy work out of the way, and luckily, a lot of these things like getting the car cleaned and the house cleaned are going to make some of the other things faster, just being in an organized space. So hopefully I can knock out some of these other busy items next week and then really make time to focus on studying. And also, hopefully, since I'll have a little bit more time, I went grocery shopping, laundry done, house is clean. I can really focus on staying disciplined as well. And I think if I can get the busy work out of the day out of the way and just stay disciplined, stay on top of some of these discipline items, and keep getting more disciplined every week, I don't think my goal of making a bunch of progress in studying will be too hard. If I can just stay on top of the busy work, stay in a good space at work, keep getting those reviews, and then stay disciplined. I think the other stuff will work itself out naturally. Um, so these are my goals for this upcoming week. I pretty much took everything from last week that I didn't get done, put it over here. I also want to get all my tax prep done, so I want to have all. Well, I'll just have one W-2 for last year, but for my business, I have a property management company, so they'll get me, I think, like a 1099 form. I need to get another form from the mortgage company, so I just want to get all the forms together. I don't actually need to start my taxes yet, but I need to at least have all of the forms together so that when I'm ready to start, I can do it and I'm not waiting for this and that and the third. So I also at one of my jobs, I met someone who does body work and paint. This was one of the kind of more, I think, optional goals for 2026. Get my home and car in perfect condition. So I probably shouldn't be prioritizing this, but I would like to get this done sooner than later. The car has like 225,000 miles, so from my point of view, I'd rather get this stuff done now when the car still has some life left in it than to get it done at like 280,000 miles and to have a really nice car, but one that'll only drive for not that much longer. Also, just some investment stuff, just busy work. Other than that, this is pretty much everything from last week that I wanted to do. So we're just going to get it done this week. Other than that, not a whole lot to say. I think the reasons that I failed so miserably on Tuesday, no, it wouldn't have been Tuesday. It would have been Sunday. I had a pretty early day. I got home around noon, got done with work at that time. So I had lots of time to go ahead and get my shit done. But I ended up talking to my mom for like 4 hours. Obviously, that took up a lot of time. And then just that day in general wasn't being super productive. Even while I was on the phone with my mom, I could have started working on some of these busy work type things, but I didn't. So that day was a day where I could have made a ton of progress if I was more focused. Of course, yesterday too, I left the house at like 9:30 or 9:45. Got home at like 2 a.m. Didn't go to bed until 4:30. So just like having fun with friends and stuff like that. Ended up being very time consuming. I would say honestly those were the two big things that took up a lot of my time this week. And then also just the whole situation with getting my car all cleaned out and organized. I took way longer on that than I expected to. But I won't go into the details too much with that. But hopefully I just have to do these things more efficiently. Try not to spend time doing things that I really know I shouldn't be doing and just stick to this stuff. I do have a pretty full week this upcoming week. It's not like the list is getting any much less. I mean, there are some things I got done, but there's still lots of busy work that I have to stay on top of. Still have optional goals. The discipline stuff hasn't really changed. So it's really on this next week. It's not really going to be any easier. It's just I have to really lock in. This first week, we can chalk it up to, me not necessarily being fully back to my regular mode of living. When I was on vacation, of course, I was jet lagged by 2 hours, so I was staying up later due to that. And then also I was on vacation, so I was just staying up later in general. Hopefully my sleep schedule, I can get that kind of back on track, and just get everything done. So I really don't have much else to say. Not the best week, but hopefully this upcoming week we're going to do a lot better, really get more disciplined, get on top of these items, and then get all this busy work out of the way and really just lock in, really just spend tons of time studying next week. That's the goal, and get to where I need to be for that. So I'll see you next week. Hopefully I have a little bit better results to show you, and that's it. Peace.